Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning and good evening. My name is SHAHIRAHAINA with your AZMI, and my MATRIC number is S67589. And today I will present to you how I done my individual assignment for ACT 3513, which is Accounting Information System. First of all, the task 1 is provided to virtual problem solving, which I have to review problem 4.5 on page 147 of the textbook, which is I already done it. Next, we will move on to task 2, which is data entry into Microsoft Access. First thing first, we will open the Microsoft Access. Open the blank database and rename it as problem 4.5. First, we will start off with customers data set, which we have to rename the tables to customer. Next, we will change the data type for the first column to numbers and rename it as customer ID. Then the next one is short text for customer name. Next is short text 2 for city. Short text again for state. And lastly, number for credit limit. We will adjust the column if needed. Next, I will start filling the table for customers. Next, we will start with the inventory dataset. So we will create a new table and save it as inventory. and change the data type to numbers for item ID. Next, short text for the description. Numbers for standard cost. Numbers looking for list price. Numbers looking for quantity. And do some adjustment for the weights. Before we start filling in the table, we will change at the list price. Change it first size to double. Decimal place at 0. Save the table and we will start filling in the data. So after we're done with the inventory table, we will move on to sales dataset table. Same as the inventory, we will create a new one. We create a table and we name it as sales. Change the data type. Numbers for invoice. Date for sale. Date. Short text for sales person. Numbers for customer. And numbers again for amount. To adjust the whiteness. And also before we fill in the table, we will change we will adjust something in the table of amount. Change to double. Save the table, and now we will put in the table now. now I will continue to sales inventory. So same as the previous one, rename the table first to sales inventory. To numbers, and then rename it as invoice. And then itemize it to numbers too. Numbers again for quantity. Then sell price for numbers too. Then before we start on fill in the table, we'll change the sales price. Do some adjustment to the sales price. Go to numbers, change it to double. Awesome. And for the invoice, change it to first unactivate the primary keys. Okay, then we will start fill in the table. Okay, the next thing is we will do the next task, which is we have to solve the problem for 0.5. And start off with A, for which items are there at least 100 units in quantity on hand. So first, create the query design, then save it as query. So it's involving inventory, descriptions, and quantity on hand. So in criteria, as they state there are at least 100 units of quantity on hand, so 100. Then, so this is the answer for query A. For query B, or question B, they say what were the item numbers, price, and quantity of each item sold on invoice. Invoice number 103. So involving inventory, sales inventory, and sales. Then they said they need item numbers, which is item ID, invoice, sale price, and lastly quantity. So for the invoice, we just need the invoice 103 and let it run. So this is the answer for the query B. So to continue question C, first create query design and save it as query C as a question C. Then choose for the question is about which customers make purchases from the mariners. Provide customer name and salesperson. Show customer names only once, even if they purchase from mariner multiple times. So it's involving sales. Involving sales and also customers. And customer name, also salesperson. Okay. And then criteria. This and add portals. So when the customers only appears once. So this is the answers. So next, moving to the next question, which is D. Save as query D. The question is about list invoice, sale date, salesperson's customer name, and amount for invoices whose amount is more than 1,500, and sort them amount from largest to smallest. So this is involving sales and also customer. The sequence is invoice, incident need, sales date, salesperson, customer name, and also amount. But the amount they need is more than 1,500. So but they need in from largest to smallest, right? So make it as ascending order. Then we will run. So this is the answers for question D. Moving to questions E, save as query E. They need list invoice, item ID, descriptions, sale price, list price, quantity, and compute the extension sales price multiplied with the quantity for all items. So where the sale price is different than the list price. Sort by the item ID in descending order. So we start off with sales. Then we start with sales inventory, and lastly is inventory. Then they need this invoice, item ID, description, sales price, list price, quantity, and lastly extension. Extension is for you have to build by ourselves, which is they need sales price, also multiply with quantity. Then rename the expression with extension. Also, they need the item ID in descending order. And the sales price. Then we will run it. So this is the answer for the question D. Moving to the next question is question F. So the question is about compute the profit margin for each item sold. Calculate the profit margin as sale price minus standard cost and divide by sale price. List invoice, sales date, item ID, sale price, quantity, and computed profit margin. Sort by profit margin in descending order. So we start off with sales, and then sales inventory, and inventory. Then we will need invoice from the sales sales date, item ID, sale price, and quantity. And lastly, we will compute our own formula, which is sales. So the price will minus with standard cost. Standard cost. Then put bracket before and after this. Then we will define quantity. And change the expressions to margin, and also read it in descending order. As the certain sum are not visible, we will do some adjustment here. Use this one. And click this. Forming effects. So there's two keys, two places in the right. So this is the answers for query F. Next is query G for question G. This is about compute the profit for each line of the invoices. Calculate the profit as sale price minus standard cost. Multiply the quantity. This invoice sales date, item matrix, sale price, quantity, and computed profit sort by invoice in ascending. Then profit in descending order. So start with sales. The sales inventory. Then we will include the invoice, sales date, item ID, sale price, quantity, and profit. As we have to pay ourselves. And it's including inventory, sales inventory. We need the sale price minus with standard cost. Don't forget to put bracket before analysis. Then we will multiply with quantity. And rename it as and they also need sort by invoice in the ascending and profit in descending. Then we run it. So this is the answers for query G. Then move on to query H. The question is about how many sales transactions were made in the October. Name your output column, number of sales. So it's including sales only, sales table. And then sales date. And then this one we have to click also. Before that, unclick the shells and put between 2018, close it, and 31st October 2018. And include the bill and count. And rename it as number sales. So this is total number or number of sales. So move on to next question is query I. They need how many customer lives in Arizona and list the state and count of customers. As they need customers, they only include with the customers table. Just Arizona, so AZAC. So move on to question G. So J is about how many customers live in each state. List the state and count of customers. Sort the list alphabetically by state. So it's about customers again. So they want state and also customer ID. How? Wait to count it. So they want the state. They want the state in shortlist by alphabetically. So ascending. So this is the answers. Next is query K. How much did each salesperson sell based on sales amount? List salesperson and total amount. Sort from largest total amount to smallest. So to begin with is we need sales table. The salesperson and also long. And they want their total one, so make it summit. But they want it to be largest to smallest. So if we want to largest from smallest, it will be ascending. Ascending. Yes. And the last question is query L. It's about how many units of each item was sold. List item ID, description, and total sold. Sort on total sold and ascending order. So it's about sales inventory and inventory. So we will start with item ID and then description, quantity, then totals. As they need so on total sold in ascending order, so we will ascending. They just need item ID, description, and total sold. So this is the answer for query. So that's all from me on solving the problem 4.5 from textbook. You'll ask some question if needed or any inquiries. Thank you.